Hello students, how are you? Let's start with chapter number 16, Economic Liberalization and Globalization. Before I'll start the chapter, you should open the textbook in front of you students. So meanwhile explaining the chapter, I will tell you to underline the objectives and question answer. In the social science, it is very necessary to read the textbook. Okay, so question may be asked from anywhere else, so it is necessary to open the textbook. So I hope you all have opened the textbook and now pay attention. This is the chapter of economics, and certain terminologies are very hard, so in between I am going to tell you and I will explain you, so just pay attention. First of all, economic liberalization. The word liberalization means what? The word liberalization means liberty. Freedom is given to you. And globalization means what? Indian economy, it is connected with the world economy. In a simple words, India is starting doing the import and the exports. So that is globalization. Now just pay attention. When India became independent in 1947, you know students, our government accepted the path of planning to achieve the speedy economic development. Students, I had already told you that and explained you that what do you mean by economic development and economic growth. Okay, so India is a developing country, that you have written in your test also. India is not a developing country, so our government tried to achieve the development. It took over the charge of achieving speedy economic development by implementing the 5-year plans one after the other. Okay, so our Indian government tried to achieve the economic development. For that, our government has made 5-year planning. So apart from that, certain policies are also made by the government, such as monetary policy that related to banking and all, fiscal policy that related to government functions like taxations and all, and industrial policy have been announced for this. Although many of these plans were completed, success was not attained in achieving economic development in true sense. So hereby government investigated the causes of failures and determined to give new form to different economic policy in order to rectify the errors done in the past. In order to achieve economic development, our government has made various economic plannings. Clear? But success that not achieved. So in order to find out the failure, investigate the failures, okay, and determine to give the new form of economic policy, a certain new method started by the government to achieve economic development. So far student, this is just an introduction, no need to learn from this. Now you have to pay attention students. Underline, the government started the industrial policy in 1991. Such economic reforms were implemented which could strengthen the economic development, which are known as liberalization, privatization and globalization. So students, you have to learn this. Economic industrial policy of 1991, this you have to remember, and government implemented with could strengthen the economic development. 3 economic reforms. Okay, economic reform मतलब सुधारना, changes. Okay, so in that, liberalization, globalization and privatization students. So liberalization, I told you that liberty given to them, and privatization, certain government sector owned industries that privatize, it means given the control to the private industries also. And globalization means what? Connecting the Indian economy with the world economy. Okay, important export. Now students, I am going to explain you economic liberalization. Students, in this chapter you have to learn economic liberalization features also, advantages also and disadvantages also student. Okay, so now liberalization. Government reduces the restriction, means restriction and control that imposed on private sector and encourage the economic development. This is known as economic liberalization. Underline this for the economic government reduces the restriction. You know na student, restriction means what? Control means what? That impose on private sector. Okay, and that is considered as the economic simply liberty that given to the private sector. Main economic reforms related to liberalization which were made in the earlier period are as follows. So students, economic liberalization, only definition you have to learn, and you have to learn these 1, 2, 3, 4 points only. Okay, restriction reduced by the government. To whom the restriction levied upon means imposed on private sector for achieving the economic development. Okay, so first point, or there was reservation of 18 industries. For the industry other than them, compulsion matlab force to take government permissions was eliminated. Simply 18 industries were reserved, okay, under the public sector. And if any industry if private sector want to establish the industry, that particular business owner or industry owner, that particular business owner or the factory owner no need to take the permission from the government. Okay, so taking permission from the government, that was permanently eliminated means students remote. Second point, area other than railways, atomic energy, defense were open for the private sector. That means in simple word, defense you know na, army, navy, air force. Atomic energy you know na, that generating the electricity, and the railways. That these three sectors are under the public sector. Apart from this, all open for the private sector. Third, traditions of compulsory registration for industries were cancelled. Previously, it was necessary to register the industry's name. Okay, that was cancelled. And fourth one, provision to take government permission for setting up the industries which do not cause pollution, are not hazardous for the environment was cancelled. Certain industries are producing the goods which are eco-friendly. That industry's goods that not pollute the environments also. So there is no need to take the permission from the government. So that permission for setting up such industry was cancelled. Now advantages of liberalization. So students, I have explained to you, liberalization means a liberty that given by the government of India to the private sector owners of the industry to establish the industry without taking the permission. Now advantages of liberalization. As a result of liberalization, private sector has got an opportunity to make unconstrained development which led to increase in the production. Unconstrained means no restriction, no hurdles, no obstacles. So it's opportunity that given to the private sector. Okay, so that will increase the production. Simple, you have to remember that increase the production. Second, by accepting the policy of liberalization, global trade means what? Import and export started getting an impetus means speedily increase the global trade, and there has been increase in the global trade. So simple, you have to remember, by starting liberalization, global trade increases. First point, increasing the production. Third point, because of the increase in the foreign trade, there has been increase in the reserve of the foreign exchange. Third point, foreign trade increases, import export increases. So increase in the foreign exchange. You know not students that foreign exchange means what? India's currency is rupee and America's currency is the dollar. So India is using while importing and exporting, that conversation should be there, converting the rupee into the dollar. So when we are exporting our currency goods, we are earning foreign exchange. Internal infrastructural facilities increase due to the liberalization. Internal infrastructural facility. Infrastructure means what, students? Infrastructure means railways, bridge, roads, telecommunication. That's all considered as a infrastructural facilities. That increases due to the liberalization. Okay. Now disadvantages of the liberalization. Disadvantages means demerits. Demerits of the liberalization. In spite of decrease in the restriction, monopoly could not be checked. So first, in spite of restriction that decreases monopoly. You know na monopoly, students? Monopoly is a single seller. He captured the entire market, and whatever prices he will charge, we have to pay it. Clear? Second point. And focus has only paid on the industrial sector. India has remained backward in the development of the agricultural sector. You know, students, in India, more than 60% of the population, they are doing agricultural activities. Okay, so focus should be given to the industrial sector only, and agriculture sector, this sector was neglected. There has been increase in disparity. Write it down. Disparity means what, student? Disparity means inequality. Inequality of the income increases. Okay, disparity of the income means what? Inequality of the income means rich become more richer and poor become more poorer. So this liberalization increases the inequality of the income between the rich and the poor. Next, because of the increase in the imports and decrease in the exports, foreign debt has increased. So you know that liberalization increasing the global trade. From the global trade we are earning the foreign exchange. But you know that India is exporting agricultural and primary goods. Now, advantages of privatization. There are 3 advantages of privatization. First one, there is increase in the number of production units in the industrial sector. Simple words, increase in the number of production. Second point, production has been increased in the capital intensive and consumable commodities due to the privatization. Consumable commodities are the commodities which you can easily consume. For example, the eatable goods, and these commodities are considered as the consumable commodities, like soap, okay, then eatable goods, which you can directly consume, that considered as the consumable commodities. And capital intensive means there are 2 types of technology. One is capital intensive and second is labor intensive. Labor intensive is the technology which uses maximum number of the labors. Okay, and capital intensive are the technology which uses maximum machines, that considered as a capital intensive. Third point, working capacities of the public sector has improved due to the privatization of the public sector enterprises. So students, you have to underline the keywords. First of all, increase in the production. Second, increase in the consumable commodities and capital intensive technology. And third, efficiency, working capacity of the government sector industries increases. Now certain disadvantages are there of the privatization. So privatization's disadvantages, 3 disadvantages are there, students. First one, economic power has centralized as a result of privatization. Means what, students? Economic power means money power, status, income, okay, that in the hands of the rich people, okay, rich people and owners, that centralized. This increase the gap between the rich and the poor. Rich become more richer and poor become more poorer, because of which evil of monopoly has increased. Monopoly increase, evil, a bad, that's error of monopoly. Monopoly is a single seller in the market. Second, cottage industries have not developed properly due to the privatization. Cottage industry means what? In the 4 walls of the house, certain industry that established, for example, pickle making, papad making, this type of industries are considered as the cottage industries. They have not developed properly due to the privatization. Only big industries like iron and steel industries and cement industries and petrochemicals industries have been benefited. Prices have not been remained under control due to the privatization. Means what? Constantly rising in the prices. That led the problem of the prices. Students, while learning the disadvantages, you have to learn these 3 points and you have to only learn the key points, and then you have to elaborate in your own words. Cottage industry is not developed. and large industries that develop. Third, prices that not control. Okay, so means what? Increase in the prices. Foreign direct investment encouraged due to the globalization, and goods produced in the developing countries can easily be obtained due to the globalization. Developing countries like India can withstand at the international level due to the globalization. So these all are the advantages of the globalization, students. So you know that foreign direct investment, other countries, companies that investing in our country, that is called as foreign direct investment. Then different countries produce different goods, and that goods available in Indian market, that considered as the due to the that these all are the advantages of globalization. And third, a developing country like India that stand in the competition due to the globalization. Okay, now disadvantages. Expected success have not been attained in finding the solution of the problems of poverty and employment due to the globalization. Whatever expectation from this, that problems of poverty means unemployment, people are not getting the job, that cannot be solved or not solved due to the globalization. Second point, developing countries have not acquired proper benefits of increasing exports which they should have acquired. And third, large scale industries have acquired more benefits as compared to the small scale industries. Students, globalization will ask in the exam for 3 marks, and you have to learn it, advantages and disadvantages of globalization you have to learn, students. Okay, this is very important. These 3 topic, liberalization, globalization, privatization, you have to learn. Now next most important topic, WTO, World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization was established on the 1st January 1995 by the members of the United Nations. Its headquarters is in Geneva. Okay, students, you have to learn for this for the MCQ, 1995 1st January, headquarter that is in the Geneva.